Welcome to this preview of the new job costing or job estimating module within CRM. This module is designed for businesses who need a lightweight job costing module where the cost of products and services is built up from a number of cost types. So I'm just going to demonstrate the core functionality here in this upcoming release. I'm going to create a new quotation here. Link it to a company. I'll just give it a reference there quickly. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add in a new product. Some network cabling here. And what we'll see is the new cost type data entry window, which allows us to build up the price of a product from cost types that have been entered previously. Each product can have multiple cost types in unlimited number, and of course each product can have different cost type breakdowns. So let me just orientate us here briefly. So at the top of the screen we have a product detail breakdown showing us the basic detail of the product. In the middle here, this section labeled cost type detail, we have a breakdown of the cost of the product by cost type, and then at the bottom we have a summary showing us a breakdown of the summary information for this line item. So just working from the top, I can enter in here maybe 1,000 meters of network cabling. I can assign this line item to a particular phase and a category, but we also have the concept of a phase group, which allows us to set up multiple sets of phases and categories for the purposes of job costing. So I can set, perhaps I might assign this to electrical, the electrical phase, okay, and I can set this to electrical labour, for example. So we can have multiple phases, and each of those is entirely configurable by each on a case-by-case basis by business. Underneath that we then have a cost type detail breakdown. So here we can see that the cost of network cabling, this product, is built up from the cost of the material, the cost of the labour, the cost of overtime labour in this case as well. And we may of course also have things like equipment hire, plant, fringes, burdens and so on, an unlimited number. Okay, so working from left to right here, I can see that we have a conversion factor here. The conversion factor can be adjusted like so. If I know that a piece of work is going to be more time consuming or less time consuming, we can do it more quickly. I can make adjustments to the conversion factor. So running from left to right, we have the cost and the conversion factor, which when multiplied by the quantity gives us the number of meters of cabling in this case, and the amount of labour and so on, and an adjusted cost. I can then actually mark up, to choose to mark up that if I choose, so I can mark up my material by 20%, for example. Oops. And that will actually show a line markup here of $960. My cost markup here, each individual cost type we can say for the purposes of including overheads, for example, that we always mark up material by 7.5%, and we always mark up labour by 10%, for example. And so in addition to that cost markup, we can then add line markup as we see fit on a line by line or a job by job basis. Ultimately we end up with a line total, which is our adjusted costs with all markups applied, and we can see a unit price per meter of network cabling. From this point I can then see my margin, my markup, on the basis of a selling price, a net price, of $10.50. If I chose to, I can discount that. I could discount, for example, by 20%, and I can see my net price is $8.40. Or indeed, I could set a price of $9 here and see everything adjusts automatically. That gives me a discount of 14.31%, and I can see my margin. So any time that I alter one of these figures, the other figures adjust automatically, allowing us to price quickly, to estimate quickly, and to actually see the results of changes that we make instantly. So for example, if this is now 2,000 rather than 1,000 lines, I can adjust there and you can see all the figures adjust automatically. A couple of other things just to highlight here as well. The system is designed both to work from cost up and also list down. So a net price could be specified, for example, where we're quoting maybe quoting smaller jobs or offering a sort of a fixed price that covers all costs. We can work on that basis, or for larger jobs perhaps where we're building up the individual cost and then applying markup. So we can work cost up or list down. A couple of other things to note: when I save this line item here, what we'll see is the phase and group and category all shown on the screen behind where I'm building up my details. And the next product that I add will actually remember that phase and category. So as I work through my job estimate, pricing the electrical section or electrical labour section, I can price that up, and each time I'm not having to specify the phase and the category. And then when I move on to maybe mechanical, for example, the system will then remember that. Just speeding up the quoting process. I can hit OK at this point, and that's now added onto the system. And of course we have all of the usual Sales Achiever functionality to copy and paste line items, to move line items up and down. So that's just a brief introduction to the job costing module. Trust that that's been helpful. Many thanks for taking the time to watch. Goodbye.